Hi, my tens of viewers. I got a package the other day that I'm dying to open, but I waited for you. I've been waiting 2 days to do this, but it's time to play my favorite segment, What's in the Package? Let's find out. Oh yeah. The new license plate is in. Take a good look. I went to an event earlier this evening and had the opportunity to meet someone that I think may have been the poster child for what I think is a very dangerous road our country has been on. So here's the picture. Yes, that's Mr. Potato himself, Dan Quayle. Now, for those of you under the age of 35, let me explain who he is. James Danforth Dan Quayle was the 44th Vice President of the United States, serving from 1989 to 1993 with President George H.W. Bush. Throughout his time as Vice President, Quayle was widely ridiculed by many as being an intellectual lightweight. Of course, this perception of Quayle's incompetence mainly came from his tendency to make public statements like this. The Holocaust was an obscene period in our nation's history. No, not our nation's, but in World War II. Well, I mean, we lived in this century, but, well, I didn't live in this century, but in this century's history, or I have made good judgments in the past, and I have made good judgments in the future. Huh? And of course, his most famous blunder occurred at an elementary school spelling bee when he mistakenly corrected a student's correct spelling of potato, P-O-T-A-T-O, to potato, P-O-T-A-T-O-E. Oy. Now, my problem really wasn't with his general lack of knowledge. No, the problem I had was that the backlash at the people who made these observations and were themselves criticized as being elitist. Why is it that there's such a large portion of Americans, both conservative and liberal, that have an appalling lack of respect for intelligence? In fact, I'd say it's actually more of a disdain for it. I mean, when you hear people accuse someone of being an elitist or elite, they don't mean rich or famous, or in the true definition of the word, the best or most skilled members of a group. No, they mean smart, educated, or a thinking person. And far from being a good thing, which it is, they've made being elite or an elitist a bad thing. I mean, in a time when intellectual property is pretty much one of the few remaining industries this country has left, wouldn't you think there'd be more respect or even a desire to be elite? If we're being honest, this really starts as early as like grade school, when being a smart kid made you a nerd. But it seems strange to me, always seems strange to me, that in an institution where the main goal was to educate you, the people who excelled at that were the outcasts and considered elite. You know, I often hear people say they'd like to vote for someone who they could have a beer with, you know, someone who's just like them. I don't get that. I mean, not me. I want the elite. I want the smartest people I can find running the country. Could you imagine if that same thinking were applied to, let's say, football? We don't want any of those elite players on the team. Oh, no, 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 they'll just do things their own way. No, we want a team made up of people just like us. You know, a little overweight, not quite sure of all the rules, and if we're being honest, really not that good at football. Look, I'm sure it would make the NFL a lot more entertaining, but would it be good sport? I, for one, am proud to say that someday I hope to be educated and worldly enough to be considered an elitist. Say it loud, say it proud. Nerd.